September 9th version of the Madison School Board. And we'd like to record the members present or absent. We'll do that. And we've established a quorum. So the next item would be for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we'll need to add 3 items to the agenda tonight. So I think we'll need a motion for this. So we're going to add the request to hire Shelby Sherrard for library para, $16.65 an hour, and then we're going to add educational adjustments for Aaron S. for masters plus 60, which would be $61,856, and we're going to add item 16A, an executive session in accordance with South Dakota Codified Law 125-2, Section 1, personal item. And so we'll need a motion to do that. And then we can approve the agenda at that time too.
Motion to approve the agenda.
We can do a motion for the amended agenda.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I still move the amended agenda, approve the amended agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Yeah, I was in favor,
Carries.
correct?
Delay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so we're to item number 6, approval of the consent items 7 through 9, which are the minutes of August 12th. Approval of the bills, everything looked in good order, you think, Joel?
Yeah.
The bills. And then 6 through 9, personnel action, resignation of Lisa as a kitchen staff effective 8/23. So I'm entertaining a motion for those.
Lori Schultz, so moved.
Okay, we'll give Lori the. Yep. Lori moves, Jordan seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Number 10, consider approval of an open enrollment application 2511.
This is a student who's been going to school here. They just, their home now is outside the actual district. They're just going to continue to go here. So it's a student that's been going here. I would recommend approval.
So, second. Motion by Jordan, second by Joel. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 11, hearing of delegations and written communications. Is there anyone here to complain or to promote? Hearing none. Number 12, the administrators' reports.
Just a couple updates. High school cell phone policy with the caddy up front and talking with the high school principals, it's going really well. I believe to date we've maybe had 2 violations, and that was probably fake phones type of thing. So it's going real well. I also talked to them about the Smart Pass. They're very happy with how that's working for the pass time between classes. If they go to use the restroom, they have to be checked out on the Smart Pass system. JLG contract, we've got that on later in the agenda about moving forward with projects there. Tennis court, we had a situation where there was some paint that was sprayed on our tennis courts. We're working with that individual right now, trying to come to a solution. We're having the tennis court people, I believe, are going to swing by sometime this week and take a look to see what they can do for us. So we'll follow up more once we have more information on that. We ordered 2 vans. How long ago, Mitch?
It would have been like December.
Yeah, a while back, and one of them came finally, and the other one's supposed to come maybe this week or next week. So, 14 passenger vans, nice. They'll get used a lot, so we're thrilled that they're showing up finally because we were a little concerned that they weren't going to show up. So we got those coming in. New DSU facilities. We had our first game there last week. We have a few more adjustments to make on concessions and a few other things because it was a 40-foot line the whole night, and so we've already met with DSU and Sodexo trying to get some things figured out there. So It's a good problem. I mean, the fact that we have a new facility and we gotta work out the kinks, it's a nice problem to have. We'll get through it. And I'm gonna throw out there, like I do every time, we really need bus drivers. You know, I've got principals driving, I got teachers driving. We need to find some people, so if you know of anybody, or if anybody out there is looking for a part-time job, even if it's just a morning route or an evening route, the school will work with you to try and help you get licensed, and we'll pay for that too. So I'm gonna keep putting a plug in for bus drivers, because unfortunately we have a lot of staff stepping up and helping us out right now. That's about all I have.
All right. Number 13, request for waivers of a potential, or for potential conflict of interest.
So I have two waivers here for you. First one is from Joel Van Batavia, school board member. And this is filled out simply because this is a requirement that's been on the books now for a few years. His wife is a paraprofessional in the elementary, so just acknowledging that there is that connection. So again, it's filling everything out, making the board aware that there's a spouse that is working in the district, so everybody's aware of that. Have the same thing for Mitchell Brooks, business manager. Mrs. Brooks is a FACS teacher for us, FCCLA teacher, so just making everybody aware that there's a connection, obviously, with an employee of someone with either the board or administration. So I would recommend approval of the waivers.
So
Second.
motion by Jordan, second by Kirsten. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 14, appoint the official delegate of the Associated School Board of South Dakota Delegate Assembly.
So, I don't know if it was Lindsay last year, or it was Jordan last year. So it's on Friday, November 22nd. It's at 1 p.m. It's in Fort Pierre. A lot of times it's in Pierre, but it's in Fort Pierre across the river this time. It's where the Associated School Boards has their meetings, and they start going through all their legislative positions, and they ask all the boards, the representatives from all the boards, to take a stance on, are you support this legislation, don't support it, what are the key things we're looking for as Associated School Boards as we move into legislative sessions. So they take a vote on everything. Each school board has the ability to have one representative at that meeting. And again, it's on a Friday, November 22nd. It's at 1 p.m. in the lovely middle of the state, Fort Pierre. Is there anyone that you're thinking you should appoint there, Mr. Vice President?
Well, first of all, you would ask for a volunteer.
That would-
because it's a
yeah,
beautiful
that would be the way to
ride.
go.
Fall colors are so enjoyable.
As long as there's not white stuff on your.
So if anybody hasn't been there and really would love to go, now would be the time to speak.
And Jordan can speak. It's an interesting process. They go through
Yeah.
a lot of items.
Yeah, they go through their entire book, essentially. And then anything they change, the delegates, everybody votes on those changes and amendments. Typically, there's not much, well, I shouldn't say that. Last year, when I went, there wasn't a whole lot of hot button items. There was a few where it was kind of a 75-25, where certain districts were very opposed to some things, but majority ruled out. So.
And you'll see there will probably be items where from one side school to the other, they may
Yes.
have different stances on things. And that's what makes the Associated School Board so unique, is they have to represent all. So they have to have a pretty high threshold before they're gonna take a stance in favor or against something.
And it's a good way to have your voice heard if
Yep.
if you have a strong feeling towards something.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. And we need to have that delegate kind of volunteer pretty soon, because you'd have to register and get them a dinner. This isn't like dinner involved. No, it's just a
I don't
meet
think
at the
so.
table and
You
visit.
Pretty
just
low-
show
low-
up at,
low
you show up
cost
at whenever,
organization.
and they start at 1, and I think we were out of there in 2 hours.
As I say, some years it's a couple hours, other years it's probably been 3+. It just depends year to year on what's,
Yeah, mine was considerably longer.
you know.
But ours was 2 hours, or last year was 2 hours.
That's good.
So I left at, I think 8 in the morning, and got home at 6.
And again, you know, the school vehicle, new school vehicle, new school vehicle there.
It's November 22nd.
Correct.
I'm sure I can do it.
Thanks, Joel.
Hey, you're welcome.
I appreciate that, Joel. And if something comes up, you know, Melanie's like, hey, I really wanna go with, or I wanna go instead, you know, but
I
thank you
can
for
be a
that.
secondary.
Okay,
Appreciate
be in
it.
contact, we'll get Joel's name out there, and if something changes, let us know.
And it's really informative, you'll enjoy it.
It is.
Because you get a whole new perspective, I think, sometimes.
Yeah. Just don't sit here and like.
Alright, so, if that item of business is taken care of, number 15, consider approval of the school resource officer agreement with the city of Madison.
So basically, it's the same agreement we've had in the past. When it first started, it started out where we gravitated to the 60-40 for the last couple of years. And that's the same as what DSU has for their SRO as well with the city. This is for 5 years, but then again, I think it's 180 days, either side can let you know that we're gonna get out of this agreement. You know, in their case, if they ran short on officers, they may be ones that say, hey, we just can't provide this anymore. So there's a way out for both. They supply the vehicle, everything else. Ours is just 60% of the salary position. We did add in there if more than 10 days are missed in a year, because there's gonna be times where either the SRO may be sick and they'll have someone come fill in, or if they have to be out for training or something that, you know, they don't have a lot of control when the training takes place. If it would be more than 10 days, then we'll have it tracked. Mr. Brooks will know, and we'll get credit back for some of that time. So we met 2 or 3 times, and very comfortable with the agreement that we have in place. Like I say, it's pretty much the same with the exception of the 10-day part that we put in there to make sure that there'd be an officer to fill in.
Right, anybody wanna move to approve that agreement?
So moved.
Moved by, motion by Joel, second
Second.
by Melanie? Second by Melanie, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Alright, we're gonna consider the approval of JLG Architects Agreement.
Okay, we got agreement forward to us. When we met with them, if you remember, they projected that the cost of changes in the middle school to the front entrance, the bus lane, on the small end would be about 1.55 million, and on the high end would be about 4.2 million. So anywhere in between there. And that's how they're approaching it in this contract. Basically, it's a blank slate. We'll meet with them on how we want things to change. So the agreement is for $18,000 to move forward with the next phase. The schedule would be pre-designed from August to September. Schematic design through construction document phase would be September through January. And if everything moves forward and the board is happy with where the drawings and everything come out, then could even be a construction beginning by next spring. So it's a pre-design is the $18,000, and then the overall cost of the project, 7.8% then would be added to that as their fee for the project. The other expenses that could come up if they travel up here a number of times, there'll be mileage and stuff charged for that. But and looking it over and looking at other ones, it seems very similar to the ones that I've dealt with in the past. And they did a nice job to get us where we're at, and I'd like to continue with them to keep moving forward.
You said 1.55 to 2?
Yeah, and when they met with us, total cost projects was the low end was 133 to 4.2, not 155, 133 to 4.2. The 133 was basically just changing the front entrance a little bit in the bus lane. And if we were adding classrooms and so on and moving the security towards the front, then it was going to be more on that other range if we added the project. And that's wide open right now on how we want to proceed forward. So they would have meetings lined up. They've got them spelled out here. Kickoff meeting, the district admin, they'd meet with the middle school staff and admin, project updates. involve the school board on items, so probably the committee members, that would be part of that.
The building committee members, there
Yeah.
hasn't been a meeting with the building committee right now.
No, we just got the initial process started and,
And so, if I'm hearing this correctly, then there was like different options that they presented, and we've narrowed it down.
we haven't narrowed it
We
down.
have yet to narrow that down.
So all they presented was in the low end, it was gonna be this amount,
Yep,
the 133. If we went with, they had a couple different drawings they had for us, remember?
I do.
And on the other end, it was
2.
4.2 million, and that was with a number more classrooms and some different changes, and having the entrance probably go more to the east than to the south, if I remember right. But that was just their, so
Yep.
they're saying, here's the ballpark from here to here. And however you wanna come up, if you wanna come up with something right in the middle, they'll work on that. If it's more that you wanna have the classrooms for down the road, whatever, as we add on, then the cost will add on.
And so then we're gonna approve this tonight, and then the next thing will be for that building committee or whoever it is to make the decision on which drawing they wanna draw. Are they gonna draw all four of them out for that?
No, they'll just come first and start meeting to see what we think our needs are. We'll have to give them some direction on what size we're looking at
Yeah.
and how we wanna move
So you
forward.
need to know if you wanna go,
Yeah.
which direction you wanna go before they start.
Yeah, they'll come and they'll start asking questions.
And so who on the board is on the building committee? It's
I guess Lindsay, Kirsty, right?
Lindsay,
I think.
Jordan, and Kirsty?
I think, I could be wrong.
You better be on there.
Lindsay, Jordan,
You're not on there.
Kirsty, yeah.
Good job. Alright, so one of those three guys is gonna know, kind of be our representative from the board as well, so.
Yep, they'll be involved as we
Yep.
get to some of those meetings and where we're at,
Okay,
and they can report back to the board as well too.
that's excellent.
So Joel,
Yep,
is our cost right now, did you say 18,000?
correct.
Okay.
18, and then any miscellaneous like mileage, whatever, if they have to make,
Right.
a lot of prints of something, there'll be some charges for that, but they're gonna be minor, obviously.
Yep.
Alright, so I'm entertaining the motion to approve that agreement to take this following, or the, continue our steps towards that project.
So moved.
Moved by Kirsty,
Second.
second by Jordan. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. Alright, so we're to 16A, which was, part of the amended agenda, and that is for an executive session in accordance with South Dakota Codified Law 125-2, Section 1 for personnel.
And there'll be no,
No decisions coming
No
out of that,
decisions
then,
coming
so
out of it,
just
no.
be the
yep.
adjournment after.
Yeah.
So moved.